Hello, greetings to everyone and each of you. I'm Peter from unfoldyourtalents.com. Welcome to my chat with a special guest, Paul Scheers. He's one of my fellow members in our training program called the SFM, the Six Figure Mentors. And it's my pleasure to interview him today because he recently managed his first sale in this online marketing training, and I'm so happy for him. And well, hello Paul, thanks for being here with me. Let me ask you to introduce you first in a few words. Just tell us a little bit about you, who you are, where you're calling from, and what is your background. What did you do before joining this training program with us?
Yes. Hi, everybody, and hi, Peter. It's great to see you and to connect with you again in our community. It's always fantastic to be connected with people and share our experiences. So every time it's enriching, and that's fantastic. So thank you for that. And I'm Paul. I live in Belgium, in Antwerp. I'm 57. And my situation is that I have a career in sales and marketing. At some point, I got dismissed from my job. I got fired from my job.
Oh my God.
At an age of 55. And I decided, oh my God, I'm not going to look for another corporate job, because I started to feel, honestly, Peter, that a corporate job was more unsafe than actually starting my own business. Because if I would do my best again in another job to try and achieve things, I might get fired again. So I found that more risky at my age. So I decided to start my own business. That is now 2 years ago. And the business is like a sales agency, and I was carrying on with the same products, the same customers, as before, but then as an independent agent for several producers of plastic materials in Europe and in Asia, and doing business in food packaging. However, I was feeling that I launched off very well. I got a good income in the beginning, but then unexpected events happened that were totally out of my control with my partners, my producers that I'm an agent for. And then I realized I'm so vulnerable and so fragile, because I don't only depend on the success of myself doing business with my customers, but also with my providers and with the companies that I'm an agent for. And I said, this has to stop. I don't want to continue like this. I want to create something myself, and I want to be more independent and more responsible for my own success. Because I can do something, but if somebody kind of, breaks my success by the decisions that they take, then I'm still nowhere. And I felt I really want to take the rudder of the boat, of the ship, in my own hands much more, and start creating things. And that's how I discovered, that's how I got convinced to look for another path. And that's when I came across SFM also.
Wow. Awesome story. Awesome story. Yes, I feel so too. So having a job is comfort. As I said recently in one of my posts, having a job is today a comfort. You have probably good income, but it's never a security. So it can be so fast. And I see this here I'm calling in from Austria, from Vienna, and in my job, it's changing. Production sites are moving from Europe to China. So there are a lot of people being fired or have to find different jobs at the moment. So having a job is comfort. And I felt the same. I needed to start creating my own life and take things into my own hands. Awesome story. So let's go a little bit deeper. So you found SFM by how? So you saw a link, or you saw an ad and you clicked on it, or how did you find SFM?
That is totally correct. So I came across a video ad from a lady from the Netherlands, Nicole, and that was when I was watching a YouTube video by Tony Robbins. And I was really looking for inspiration because I was on a path to become better at business. I was looking at a path of developing myself much faster as I started my business to become the person that I needed to be. Because, you know, a mindset of an employee is very different than a mindset of an entrepreneur or an independent business person. And I realized I needed to truly make a shift. Not only that, I needed to become a different person, Peter, altogether. Yes. And I knew Tony Robbins already, and I was following it, and I was like on an intensive course on a path to really change myself. And that's when I came across that video. And that video kind of, it was Nicole, and she was explaining the possibilities. That was fine. That was attractive, but it was really my sense of, hold on a minute, independence. You know, this was so important to me, and her message spoke to that independence. That's what I was wanting. Then she said, you know, that she's really in charge of her own life. Now you can think that this is the same as independence, but when you're creating something and what you're creating is growing and it's yours and you can take it into directions, you know, this is somewhat what I was missing previously. And this is the satisfaction that you're getting from actually making something, creating something. And that spoke to me as well. So I didn't take action straight away. It took me some weeks before I then took action. But, you know, when I realized, hey, listen, you can put this aside now and act as if you haven't seen this. But I started to feel, you know, more of an attraction to say, okay, if you really want your life to look differently, it needs to come. I need to come into action. Yes. So it was really that video ad that got me into action and say, listen, I have nothing to lose. I can learn. I can take a step. And let's see where this takes me. It can't be that difficult, right?
Right.
And at least that's what Nicole gave me, that impression of, you know, it is not as difficult as you may think it is. You don't need to see the full picture quite yet from the beginning when you start. That was like a comfort on some level, that I could say, okay, let's start. Let's be open-minded. Let's see what happens. Yes. And that's the attitude that I started it with.
That's a good attitude. And this is what actually Stuart Ross, the founder of our company, asks us to at the beginning, to be open-minded, to be open-hearted, and above all, to be open-hearted, because what we learn, and that's my message, what I learned is in marketing, whatever we market or whatever we sell, be it a product or a service or a training program, we deal with people. And with people, we connect also with the heart. So we need to feel, we need to show empathy with our customers. So this is very important. And having this mindset at the beginning will help each of us, will help us to proceed. Because actually, as you said, all the technical stuff, yeah, sometimes it takes time to figure it out and to set up a homepage. But the big thing, the big learning, the big teaching is the human things. So interacting with people. So let's go on there. So you joined SFM and you went through the training programs. And where are you now? So I heard you managed to set up your system and you made your first sale. So how did that feel for you? What did it do? Did you find something out? Did it give you a push, a motivational push?
Absolutely, yes. It was a joy, really, because you don't know until you got some feedback from people out there. So what I was doing, I was advertising on YouTube with a YouTube video. And of course, I put myself out there. I put my message, my story out there. And I don't know how the response and if this is meaningful to anybody or if anybody is going to connect with that, right? So that's the big unknown. This is the moment of doubt where you're not quite sure if it's all relevant, yes? And when that response then comes, when you have people filling in their email details and they want to receive more information about the learning platform and about SFM, that's when you realize, yes, it is starting to happen, and that's a wonderful feeling. Just like you mentioned before, it's from the heart. I realize now in my old business, I used to really do things with owners of companies and what I could do with them and for them mattered to me. And now it's very much the same. Just knowing that people might effectively change their lives. Yes, just like I've changed my life also by joining this, by learning new skills, and by really attracting people to a possibility of actually changing their life. That fulfills me with so much meaning. It all makes sense now. Yes, there was a point when I was working hard that probably I didn't realize, oh my God, what am I doing? Can I keep this up, this level of intensity of learning, and keep it going for weeks and months, etc.? You lose a little bit of sense, but when the first leads and interested people come through, and you have your first leads, and you have your first people that are interested, and then ultimately you make this first sale, and you know somebody's really going to go and do the same thing that I've done, then I think, oh my God, this is like a prayer being answered, right? This is just fantastic, because I know the wonderful things that are awaiting them, just like I've experienced myself, yes, in terms of not only what I've learned, but it's life lessons that I've learned. It's connecting with people that I've learned. It's seeing that I can change my life and create a new life for myself. That is so empowering. And when I know that somebody and someone else is going to go into that same path and the same possibilities, that is so fantastic. It's so wonderful. It all makes sense now.
I'm so happy to hear that. So proof of the whole thing is probably what we are all looking for. So finally, we believe in it. We work hard to achieve the traction, to get the leads, to deal with the technical stuff, to be creative, and to make our first ads, and then boom, we get our first sale. It's so wonderful. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
So let me ask you maybe the last question. So throughout that process, when you learned all this, so how did, because you people, what you must know, behind SFM, there are wonderful mentors. So it's not just one person doing the teaching. We have mentors in different topics, from marketing and platforms and messages and whatever. So we interact. We call this our tribe. It's a bunch of students and mentors and coaches, and on daily basis we interact. So Paul, maybe some words on how this group of people affected you. I don't want to say help, because we help each other, so it's that learn to teach issue. But how much did the whole concept impact your journey?
Yeah, I think in the first phase, I was really concentrating on the learning modules, and I was not reaching out so much. Whether this is good or bad, I don't know. But it was first about doing the work first in the learning modules. When I came out of the learning models, I reached out to the community straight away, which means that I went on to the Facebook group of Dan Holloway with Scrap the 9 to 5. And over there, I found that when I was listening to webinars where there might be 10 to 20 and more participants in webinars, questions were being asked, and let's say that probably 20% of those questions really applied to answering something that I was struggling with in that moment. Yes?
Okay.
So then that community really helped me with really practical things, because of course the people on those calls were experiencing exactly the same problems that I was having, whether they would be technical or whether they would be about how to tackle some things, strategies, thinking about how to market, but also how to deal with doubt and fear around some moves that you make in your on your path, right? And then from that, I started to get real friendships then as well, because then besides these webinars, we started to connect as well, sending each other messages, forming a small group to do something. We have a local group here in Belgium and Holland. We're meeting up once a month. We do mastermind.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
Yeah.
I met two people already. One fellow student here, he lives here in Vienna. I met him twice. But I hope so much that we will get more people in Austria working on.
Absolutely. And I was lucky, Peter, because, we have a group of well over 20 people here. But there was one particular somebody, wow. Richard Cabrera, and also Ruth Nellestein, and Yolanda, his wife. And not only have they been so fantastically supportive, in difficult moments, when you doubt and when you have some fears and when you're not quite thinking that you're capable, or you feel overwhelmed with stuff because there is so much going on, then not only were they fantastically supportive, but I also could work with Richard to develop where I felt a weakness. And, we were doing repetition, like over and over, shooting videos and starting all over again, and writing scripts and starting all over again, throwing away what we had, starting all over again, until we both felt, right, this is from the heart. This is working well. This reflects us, right? We're not putting on, any facade. This is true. This is authentic. This is real. Yes. And this is our story, and this is our message. And that was such an important process. I doubt that I could have done this all by myself, to be honest. So having that person as a buddy, as a coach, as a helper, as, bouncing off each other, it's gold. It's golden, right? It's fantastic. Wonderful.
Yeah. I met beautiful people also in the tribe. One of my friends, she speaks Spanish like me. I speak Spanish as well, and she also speaks German. I also speak German, and we made friends quickly. But she lives in Australia, so we will have a hard time really to meet. But it's our plan to meet. So she became my accountability coach, and we have a Facebook call every week. But of course, it's one further step to really meet and do interaction on camera together, etc. What you described is so wonderful.
Yeah.
And this is possible, people, in this community. So SFM is operating worldwide. Wherever you are watching this, there is a strong community in Australia, in America, in North America, in South America, in Europe, in the UK. And we're spreading. We're spreading. We're a big group of like-minded people. It's not all about business, because we inherit business into our normal day-to-day life with family. I'm a family guy as well. And that's our dream, to interact and web our work into our life. So
yes, and if just to put it in perspective, I've only been with SFM for 7 months, In earnest, I've been marketing now for almost 3 months, right? And having my first success now. There are people doing that somewhat sooner even as well, and people doing that somewhat later, depending on how much time they can put in. But it is also been that everything accelerated by working together with these people from the community. I will have a call with somebody to help them when I'm 2 steps ahead of them. And then a little later, I'll have a call with somebody that will help me because that person is 2 steps ahead of me. Yes. So it's fantastic. It's a dynamic that accelerates the learning so much more. It makes it fun, totally fun as well, of course. So this is so dynamic. It's so alive. It's so buzzing with activity, and it's so motivating. Of course, you're not alone. You can always reach out, and that's fantastically powerful.
Great. Wow. Yeah, it is powerful. Well, Paul, I think our time is up. Thank you so much. You're adding so much value also to the group. I see you're very active in the video training group, etc. We are in there together. Thank you so much for joining my call today, for being my guest. We can do this anytime again if you wish.
Absolutely.
It's a pleasure to talk to you and to learn from you. And yes, people, if you watch this and you're curious to learn more, well, you have wonderful Paul here, and you can, of course, reach out to me, whatever you like. We're here to help you and to inform you about this educational program. So, Paul, anything else at the end of our call that you would like to say to the people out there?
Yeah, that now is really a wonderful moment to start changing your life, because we're now already so used to playing around with our telephones and Wi-Fi and laptop and computers. It's happened so recent and so fast, right? That when we're holding these bits of gear, like a phone or a computer, we're not fully aware of the true power we really have. And what I mean is to use these tools not only to do stuff, but to do stuff that's truly important to us, right? Where we feel great when we're doing it, where we can have an impact. Maybe it's a hobby you have, but it's a passion and you want to turn that into something. Maybe it's a passion for a good cause that you may have. Yes, where you say, I want to make a difference. I want to make a change to this problem. I want to make this better. Yes. And imagine we really are holding that power in our hands right now. It's really up to us. Yes. To take a chance. And if you don't know what is involved, then you will not take that chance because you think it's a huge mountain to climb. But when you start, taking one step and you're getting your feet dirty, right? Then you start to feel, yeah, hold on a minute, I can do this. I just need to keep stepping, right? I just need to keep taking the next level, right? And then you realize that this power becomes yours, yes, of actually using these tools to putting your ideas out there, to impact the world out there, to impact people's lives. And that's phenomenal. That's fantastic. I wish we would realize more of that power that we really truly hold to do good, to have a wonderful impact.
Beautiful final words. I cannot add anything, Paul. Thanks a lot. Wherever you are, people out there, I wish you a good morning, good night, good evening. Stay blessed and take action. We are there. Okay.
Great.
Paul, thank you. I think.
Many thanks, Peter. That's great. All
Thank
the best
you.
to you. Lots of success to you, and hope to connect with you soon again, and also in the flesh, so that we'll be giving each other a good, strong hug. You know, having some time together,
Yeah.
and yeah,